Hi, my name is Jack Ralph, and my partner is Ash Bruneau. We are collaborating to create a solution to forest fires in Canada.
So for our project, we're planning on using UAVs to detect hotspots before forest fires can catch. Our plan is that if we can alert firefighters where possible forest fires can start, we can prevent them before it burns down thousands and thousands of hectares of land.
Canada is currently experiencing a wildfire crisis. In 2023, 18 million hectares of land was burned down. That's the size of Greece. Another problem is that because of all of these fires, many towns are being evacuated and people being relocated. This is really bad. Now, on another subject, climate change. This affects Canada's pollution by an enormous amount. In 2023, almost 640 million tons of CO2 were released into the atmosphere. This is really bad because it creates smoke and pollution in Canada's air. Lastly, Canada's government is paying billions of dollars to stop this. And a lot of that money could be used into UAVs or drones to help with this issue. The other problem is because of climate change, this is getting worse. This is one of the things that we've seen with climate change, where as temperatures rise, problems start to occur. In the near future, we think wildfires will get worse and worse and worse. And this is an amazing solution to this problem because it detects fires before they start and before they cause all the damage, cause people to be relocated, and cause CO2 to be released. Our innovation is to use UAVs or autonomous vehicles to detect forest fires before they start. So the way that we do this is detect hotspots in forests. Fires are typically started within these hotspots, and if we can know where these hotspots are, we can use measures to cool these areas down. The way that we're doing it is we are attaching an infrared flame sensor to an autonomous vehicle. The reason why we're using autonomous vehicles is because firefighting is very dangerous. Flying super low to the ground at high speeds can be extremely dangerous for the pilots and people on the ground. Using drones makes it much less dangerous, and if anything happens, it's much less consequential. Lastly, the way that we plan to do this is using a cell phone or some sort of transmitting device to deliver stable video feed directly from the drone to an operator on the ground so that they can monitor it and give alerts when they find an area of much higher temperature than the areas around it. This is the aircraft that we plan to strap our project to. This is because conventional drones are relatively inefficient and have lower flight times and lower ranges, while aircraft have much higher efficiencies and can fly for much longer and can run for much longer and cover much farther distances. That's why we've chosen to go with a UAV. In the beginning, this will be piloted by a pilot, which will be me. Now, later on in the project, we would like to make this autonomous using something such as Ardui Pilot or something along the lines of that, so that this can be run autonomously on a system so that someone doesn't have to fly it all the time.
So for our project, we had to do a bunch of initial research to find out exactly what we were dealing with. To our surprise, we found that millions of hectares of land are burnt every year due to forest fires. This research was helped out a lot by my parents, who are both firefighters. We also realized that we have to know how to actually fly a drone, and Volatus Aerospace helped us to get our RPAS license. After this, we had to learn how to code to even get our sensors and our transmitters to work, which took us quite a while, but we ended up figuring it out. We also had to do a bit of consultation with external sources, like for example, an air traffic controller to find the different classifications of airspace and the restrictions we had with our project. In a way, our project can help all Canadians due to the air pollution that forest fires can cause, as well as the economy of Canada, because soft lumber contributed around $33.7 billion to Canada's economy as of 2023. It also affects global warming, which is an ongoing problem for the entire world. And most of all, this will help people in fire-prone communities feel safer in their homes.
Currently, there are multiple companies set in place using drones to fight forest fires or to detect forest fires. Now, the thing that we plan to do differently is detect these fires before they start. So, a lot of these companies are just detecting once the fires have started, doing the job of fire watchers. Now, we don't really want to take the jobs of all of these Canadians who are looking for fires all the time, so fire watchers. Our goal is to detect the fires before they start. So we're not taking jobs, but we're saving lives. Potential barriers to our project could be things like our programming skills. So, to implement this in a global scale, we would need to make a mass system that would implicate many drones working together to scan massive forest areas. Our programming skills are not good enough to do that, so we would need external help and aid to do that. Another thing is budget and resources. We don't have the amount of money to buy all of these drones, which is why we need external funding. Another thing is we don't have the resources to make all of this happen and the connections to make this happen. So this is why we'd need to do consulting and more work to find people to help us with this. Currently, our collaborators are just me and Ash, who you've seen in the other videos. Although we have consulted with many people, such as air traffic controllers and Volatus Aerospace, teaching us how to use drones to detect heat sources. We plan to use collaborators to get our drones out through the world later on, but currently our collaborators are just me and Ash working on the project to push it out to you guys.
So, if we were to win the cash prize, we would most likely spend it on a better infrared flame detection system so that we can detect from farther away and get a more accurate reading. Another thing we might spend the money on is a more efficient UAV so we can fly longer, farther, and hold more weight.